What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very epic, interesting news. As 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who is now the undisputed super middleweight world champion, who created history 2 times over. He became the first undisputed 168-pound champion in the history of the sport of boxing. And he's the first Mexican-born fighter to hold all 4 major sanction belts in the Ring magazine, that being none other than Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is now 57 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, standing 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, he defeated former IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant. That was November 6th, Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand Arena. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, 2 things he has going on. Canelo Alvarez, he's not letting his newfound fame go to waste. Well, I don't want to say newfound fame, but his success. Canelo Alvarez epically drops $1 million on Kids Foundation for Cancer. You heard it. Canelo Alvarez dropped $1 million for children that's suffering with cancer in support. That's enormous. Thus the reason why Canelo Alvarez gets a lot of praise. Thus the reason why Canelo Alvarez is viewed in the manner he's viewed and loved by the Mexican fan base and just fan base overall. Because Canelo Alvarez just doesn't talk the talk. He actually walks the walk. Canelo Alvarez, he reaches out and helps every young boxer that reaches out to him, just about. He extends the olive leaf. He helps them out. He brings them into his camp. He shows them tips. He gives them pointers. Most recently, Canelo Alvarez, he publicly questioned rising upcoming Mexican lightweight superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia motivation. And he stated Ryan Garcia is letting his talent goes to waste. And Ryan Garcia, he responded by saying he know that it's coming from a good place, coming from Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez, he says he hopes his words publicly challenges and motivates Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia says he accepts the challenge. You see guys like former unified heavyweight world champion, superstar Mexican boxer Andy Ruiz Jr. He goes, and Andy Ruiz Jr. is now training with Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez, and he's getting in the best shape of his life. So Canelo Alvarez just doesn't talk the talk. Where you see a lot of fighters, you see them with tons and tons of jewelry. You see them with houses and their cars and their Lamborghinis and things of that nature. Well, Canelo Alvarez, and this is not to say that they don't do these things, but this is why Canelo Alvarez gets the perception he gets, the praise he gets. It's because he just doesn't talk the talk. He actually backs it up. So with that said, there's a lot of speculation that Canelo Alvarez may face off against undefeated 2-time super middleweight WBC Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez, May 7th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, 2022, Las Vegas, Nevada. And Canelo Alvarez is also being linked to undefeated 2-division world champion, who currently is the WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermall Lions Only Charlo. But Canelo Alvarez, he challenges them to not only look for paydays, as he told Demetrius Andrade, undefeated 2-division world champion, who's the WBO reigning middleweight world champion, as he came into his press conference, and he told Demetrius Andrade, payday, you want payday? I know what you want. But Canelo Alvarez, he challenges everybody to now just don't talk the talk, but put your money where your mouth is if you want to fight him, and it's just not about paydays. He drops $1 million of his purse from his fight. Now, he got $40 million, 35, $40 million for the fight with Caleb Plant. His gate did a live 20 million gate, 18 to 20 million live gate. Pay-per-view did 800 to 850,000 pay-per-view buys. So for sure, there's people going to say, well, it's a tax write-off. Well, people are going to say, well, he has to do this and do that, etc. But he does it. And he does it in person. He didn't just write a check and disappear. He did it in person. That's huge. That says a lot. He's dedicated to the sport of boxing. But he's also dedicated to humanity outside of the sport of boxing. So with that said, that's huge on the part of Canelo Alvarez. And now we are at the point of what's going to be next. David Benavidez, he feels like Canelo Alvarez is avoiding him. He stated that when I was the world champion, Canelo Alvarez, well, he didn't try to fight me when I was world champion to win the belt from me. David Benavidez, he lost the belt on the scale. Okay? So with that said, David Benavidez is looking to fight for the linealship, because he never lost it in the ring. So he's saying, let's fight for the linealship. We have Jermall Charlo, who's campaigning for this fight with Canelo Alvarez. But once upon a time, Jermall Charlo, when asked to fight David Benavidez, and David Benavidez says, you fight me, and the winner of our fight fights Canelo Alvarez. Jermall Charlo met that with, I'm not a super middleweight. I'm not even going up there to fight Canelo Alvarez. Well, now he's willing to go up there and fight Canelo Alvarez. The fight this past weekend between David Benavidez and Kyron Davis should have been David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo. And the winner should be looking to fight Canelo Alvarez. That would have made it a no-brainer. That would have made it a slam dunk for Canelo Alvarez to fight the winner. Right? That would have made it a slam dunk. The winner of that fight Canelo Alvarez. But like Canelo Alvarez stated, a lot of these fighters are now trying to skip the line. I think David Benavidez should get his opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. Why? Because David Benavidez, he's stuck to his division. He's looking to fight the absolute best that is available. David Benavidez is trying to make a statement, not just for paydays, but for the legacy and the sport of boxing. He's willing to fight any and everybody at 25 years of age. This is his division. He looked to fight Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo wants to jump ahead of the line and fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, I do understand that Jermall Charlo has a history with Canelo Alvarez, where he fought Canelo, or he was looking to fight Canelo Alvarez when he was at 54. Then he's looking to fight Canelo Alvarez when he became his mandatory at 60. And yes, Canelo Alvarez introduced the franchise belt to the sport of boxing, which should never happen. It just caused confusion. So yes, he's been looking to fight Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. But he should have fought the eliminator against David Benavidez, and that would have made it a no-brainer for Canelo Alvarez to fight the winner, because it was only a week later. So with that said, David Benavidez, I believe, is more deserving of this opportunity. Now there's also talks that Canelo Alvarez could possibly go back up to 175, light heavyweight, and challenge Dimitri Bivol, who's the WBA light heavyweight undefeated world champion. Now, Dimitri Bivol was in play to fight Canelo Alvarez if the fight didn't take place and come to fruition between Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. He was in place, but it was at a catchweight. I don't want to see Canelo Alvarez at catchweights anymore. I want to see Canelo Alvarez fight these guys at their full strength. As Mexican superstar, legendary Hall of Famer Juan Manuel Marquez put it, don't put stipulations. Don't put these guys at disadvantages. Fight them at their very best and prove that you are indeed the very best. So if you're going to fight Dimitri Bivol, fight Dimitri Bivol at 175. There's also the opportunity to fight Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev has a big fight coming up with Marcus Brown next month. And that's no walk in the park. But Artur Beterbiev, he's the IBF WBC light heavyweight champion, undefeated. So fight those guys at their full natural weight. But I truly believe that Canelo Alvarez will be facing David Benavidez May 7th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's absolutely enormous. So Canelo Alvarez, he's challenging these fighters. Don't just look from paydays from me. Back it up as he dropped $1 million on a kids fund and tells these fighters, back up fighting me and these paydays outside the ring as well as inside the ring. Let's see how this unfolds. Now, again, these fighters not making the same level of money that Canelo Alvarez is making, but it's a good challenge on the part of Canelo Alvarez. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.